My name's Ruth. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Sorry, well, yes, I said Stampin' Up! Twice in that sentence. Anyway, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining me on my channel on YouTube. Today I'm going to be playing with some of the stamp sheets that I've done in the last week or so. I think this one was the one from last week and this was the one from last night. And I've got a couple of things pinned that I wanted to have a go at, so adapting them kind of hopefully for this. One is a bit of a fancy fold, one's just using up, you know, pretty paper in a way. So I think I'll start with what I think is the simplest one, and I have got out some scraps of paper that match the colours that I used last night, and I may need to get some additional pieces out, but we'll start with this and go from there really. So some of you who followed me for a while know that I like doing this kind of stamping where I stamp a whole sheet of paper and then use it for card making. So I thought it would be fun to have a go using them tonight. So because I know I want to cut this up into sections, so I'm just having a little think on the maths of this. I'm going to cut this a 2 centimeters smaller than my card base. Yeah, I think I'll do it that way. So for those of you in the UK, this is cutting this at 12.9 centimeters, and then I'm going to cut this at so this would normally be 10.5, 9.5, 8.5. I'm going to cut this at 8.5. And then the idea is I want to cut a section, go for 4.5 centimeters. So just over halfway. And then I'm going to swivel this round and cut this at, oh, should we say, what's that, 5.5 centimeters. And then cut this a little bit higher up, this one. And I'm trying to keep them so that I know what order they go in. Okay, so this is a super simple thing to do. Basically, you take the size of your card base. So I'm thinking this through how I can explain it for you guys who use metric. So you take the size that you would normally cut for your card base. I'm not going to be specific because I know different people like to create different size card bases. So this would work if you're, hopefully if you're using making a big card as well as a small card. So your normal size card base, and you're basically taking off, I took off about 1 inch. Okay, so whereas normally this would be 10.5 centimeters wide, I've made it 8, and this panel 8.5. Okay, I know what, let me just demonstrate it and then you'll be able to see what I mean. So I'll pop that there, pop that there, and pop that there. So look, actually no, it's not it's a bit less than 1 inch. It's about 3/4 of an inch. So what I've done is I've cut myself a panel a little bit smaller, and the reason I've done that is because I want to spread these out, but also I want to cut little tiny matting layers for each of these pieces before I stick it together. Hence, that's why I did that little bit of funny maths at the beginning. Okay, so I want to use a little bit of Misty Moonlight for this. So I'll just see if I can find a scrap that is about the right size. So I now need to cut this, I think, I hope this is going to work, halfway between the size of my base and the size of the matting layer I've just cut. So if I do this at 9.5 and this at 13.9, let's just double check to see if that is correct. Yep, there we go. So I've got a gap. Let's show that again so that you can understand what I'm doing. So there we go. You can see that I've got a gap all the way around. And now if I cut this in half, so half of 9.5 is 4 3/4. So 4.75 millimeters. That should fit on there, and that should fit on there, she says. Oh no, that didn't work. Oops. What did I do wrong there? I did my maths wrong. Did I do my maths wrong then? No, that should have been right. I obviously cut this wrong. Oh, I cut, no, yeah, I made a mistake. Okay, go back again. I assumed I'd cut that first piece in half. No, I haven't. Okay, let's just do that again. So I had got it right, sort of, halfway. 9.5 by 13.9. Okay, so these pieces are different sizes, aren't they? I hadn't realised that. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it a bit. So what was this? Right, so I'll cut that at 5. That should work. Yay! Okay, and then I just need to cut a bit off this end. So that was, it's easy to do it that way. 8. So if I do this at 8.5, that should be perfect, she says. Ta-da! Yay, got there in the end. Took me half a minute. Okay, so let's just double check this. So if I cut this at 6. There we go. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Right, so I have got a little wee border going all around my little pieces now, and that's all I wanted to do. It wasn't that complicated until I made it complicated. There we go. So I want to just do that there. Hold on, let's get this back into the order that it was. So that is how it was. No, that's not right. Okay. Okay, so do you think it makes sense to have it in the correct order? Oh, now that's the wrong pink. I wanted Magenta Madness, and that's polished pink. So this is the cut. This is the pink I wanted, because that is what I used last night. There we go. So what's interesting about doing this process is that the stamp sheet that I did was really quite fun and had a lot of different elements on it, as you can see. But by putting them within these little frames, it almost brings a little bit of order to the proceedings, doesn't it, by doing it that way? And just kind of helps you to sort of see the different aspects of it, like framed. So I quite like that. Right, I'm going to say hello to everybody because I've been concentrating so hard on those numbers that I haven't said hello to everybody yet. So hello Valerie, Vicky, Anne, Mary, Martina, Brigitte, Wendy, Shaz, You've got me on the big telly. Oh wow, fab. Oh, Shaz has still got her newborn lambs to deal with. Wonderful. Hi, Bob, Susan, Cindy, Shirley, Ivy, Elaine, Heidi, Jan. Woohoo! Busy night tonight, guys. Susan. Whew. Right. Glenna, Leslie. Hi, Leslie from Oklahoma City. Brilliant. Hi, Sheila. Oh, my days. Hi, Janice. What did Monica say? I was supposed to have a class this morning, but the roads are cut now. Oh, no. Hi, Gina. Hi, Anne. Hi, everybody. And everybody catching up on the replay. Hello. Now, for some reason, my screen isn't loading properly, so I'm just going to redo that. Thank you for the thumbs up already. You guys are fabulous. There we go. Okay, so the principle, just to go over it again, is that you take your card base size, then you take off, now I took off 2 centimeters to cut my patterned layer, and then you do your matting layer 1 centimeter smaller all the way around. So if you're doing this in inches, perhaps do it half an inch smaller, then an inch smaller. Do it that way. So it just means it makes it easier to cut up your little panels and pieces to stick together. So all you need to do now is stick these pieces. I'm hoping this is going to work. My glue works. Oh, come on. You were working this morning. This was a new glue this morning that I broke out for my workshop that I did with families this morning. So yeah, so welcome if you are watching because you met me today and you've now followed my YouTube channel, and we had 18 adults and children in total. I very presumptuously thought that the event that I'd been invited to help with, it wasn't just going to be me, that it was going to be other artisans as well doing different things, but no, it was just me. So thankfully I'd cut out loads of pieces of card and bits and pieces ready, so that was cool. And some people got messier than others, as you can see. Oh no, this is nearly washed off now, but yeah, no matter how many times I told a couple of children that, you know, it's easier to clean the stamps when they're still on the block, they just kept taking them off the stamps and trying to clean them. But anyway, it was good fun, and they got ink everywhere, and they did a bit of stamping, and then we had yeah, had a lot of fun. Right, so now I'm just going to place these ready just to eyeball it and figure out my placement, and there you have it. Okay, that works, doesn't it? I think it works. Now, is it worth me just mixing it up a bit, turning it around, or do you think it's better to have it together so that you've got a little bit flowing? I'm going to be conservative and just go for the whole, you know, it's got to flow business. So let's go there, do that. Do that. I'm glad I swapped this pink out, because I very often get these 2 pinks muddled up, but then if I do use the wrong one, I do kick myself. Go, oh no. So, polished pink is a little bit more, ooh, I'd say it's got more of a reddy tone, whereas Magenta Madness has got going towards a more purpley sort of tone to it. It's a colder pink. Right, there we go. So that's one layout that you can do with your Stamped One Sheet Wonders. Of course, you can add sentiments and things like that if you want to, but I just wanted to show you a basic layout that you could do. There we go. Hi, Shirley. Ruth, they had fun. Did I too? Yes, yes, it was lovely. There was a few people who came who I already knew, but I didn't realise they were coming. So that was nice. Or no, actually, there was one lady who I hadn't seen since pre-COVID. I knew her from a different context, and it was interesting actually, because I knew she was a graphic designer, but I spoke to her mum. Her mum was there, and she used to be a fabric designer, which is my kind of like secret wish job at the moment. I'd love to be a fabric designer. So it was really interesting chatting to her and watching her stamp. You could tell that she kind of knew her way around graphics and things. And then I did do a demonstration of a one sheet wonder doing the cross style, and yeah, my friend just picked it up and ran with it. She did the most amazing design using the After the Storm stamp set. So I really want to case it actually, although I'm not going to have the original to show you what she did. I actually would love to show another design using that stamp set because it works so well. Okay, the next card I want to do is called an Upright Z Fold, and it's one that I pinned on Pinterest a while back, and it's super duper easy to do. So I'm going to use my pre-cut card base that I have here, which is half a sheet of A4 cut into a tent fold card. So it's 10.5 centimeters wide. So if you're doing this in inches, that's 4 inches wide, or 4 1/4 if you're using your letter size. And what I'm going to do, just to make my life a bit easier in terms of measurements, I'm actually going to cut this down to 14 centimeters. And then I'm going to score this then at 7 centimeters to do my Z fold. And what we're going to do is fold that back, and it's going to be a kind of funny reverse thing. So bear with me. So then I'm going to cut a matting layer. Now this is a bit damaged, this cardstock, but it's okay, because I think what I might do is run it through the embossing folder, and you're never going to know. And so I want to cut myself a panel that's going to fit just inside here. So let's do this 1.5 centimeters smaller than my base. So my base is 10.5, so let's take this down to 9. And so it was 14 minus 1.5, so let's take that to 12.5. And I'm going to take that little spare bit of panel here that I've got here and cut that to fit. Although now I've got the pink on there, I'm not sure I like it. I think I might double mount it. Yeah, you know what, I'm going to double mount this. So let's do a card matting layer. So what do I need it? 8.5 by 12. So cut that there, 8.5. Let's cut that off there. I've got a bit of a damaged section there that's not going to repair itself. What did I just say? 12. Okay, so that can sit inside there. So this needs to be cut at 8 by 11.5. So I'm taking off 0.5 centimeter each time. And we can save these tiny bits because they're still beautiful. They're small but beautiful. We'll use them for something else. Okay. Oh, what did I do wrong there? Okay, I'm just going to have to cut these down. Oh dear. 11. What was that meant to be? Oh, it was meant to be 11.5. Oh, this is the night of Ruth getting her measurements wrong. Sorry about that. Oh, wow. Never mind. It's only a piece of paper at the end of the day, guys, isn't it? I can use that for something else. Right. So that by that by that. Now, I did say I wanted to put some texture onto this because it's a bit damaged. So I think what I might do is just run these through the embossing folder. Actually, I want to try that through the embossing folder as well. So I'll leave the blue plain, but then I'll run these two through an embossing folder. So what have I got that would be fun? Oh, got the hive one. Do that one. That might be a bit of fun. So let's open this out. Got my cut and emboss machine. Now, Stampin' Up! I've got a special coming soon, a special offer. on the mini cut and emboss, throughout March, we're going to have 20% off the mini. Plus, there are going to be some other offers, some money off offers for certain products. There's so many that I can't even list them. So you'll just have to look out for the information about it. Now, which side do I prefer? Oh, well, we'll go with that one. Go with that one for now. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing comments. I'm not even looking at my YouTube. Okay, I love it in the pink. Hello. Ruth, you're doing the miscalculations just to make us feel good that we are not as perfect as you usually are. Thank you. Oh, Lisa's got new products. Awesome. Yay. Oh, it started raining here. Hi, Jan Williams. Hi, Jane. Hi, Elizabeth. Lovely to see you all. Please do invite your friends. You know, I'm only 2 cards in so far, so we're just going to keep making cards until I get tired. So stick with me. Hopefully I'll bring you some ideas that you've not seen before. Most of them, you know, have been done before. I'm not claiming any special, you know, like these are original to me. I did go on Pinterest just to have a look at ideas that I haven't used that I wanted to use. So these are no way original to me. Right, let's get these stuck down. Now, the way that this mechanism works for this reverse Z fold is that it needs to have a catch. Oh, why am I up there? Come back down with. It needs to have a little catch at the top. So I'm just going to have a little sneak peek back at the pin that I pinned and check out what I'm meant to do at the top to hold it in place. So let's get this stuck down. Now, when you're sticking cardstock onto an embossed panel, just put a little bit of extra glue, love, on there to hold it, because the texture will prevent it from really doing its thing. So give it a good old push. There we go. Right, is Linda Yamakodo on yet? I don't think she is. It's her birthday today, everybody. Now, because I've cut that a bit short, I was going to chop a bit off the top, but I've just remembered I've got to put the mechanism on there. So let's have a look at what it looks like. Oh, it's literally a catch. Oh, that's easy. Okay, so I'm thinking, what about we have a little flower or something at the top there? And I could put a brad through it or something to hold that down. Now, I did grab out some of the some dies, different dies, and ones that I hadn't used for a while. Oh, I'm looking at this thinking that is not meant to be in there. That doesn't belong in there. Does anyone know where that comes from? Because it's not from this set, is it? I'm just going to put it at the side there for a moment. Okay. I'm wondering, what about a nice leaf? Just at the top. So basically you need to have this sort of catch section at the top to hold it into place. What about that? And a bit of, keep it simple. A bit of misty moonlight. On there, that there, that there. Put my plate over the top. Oh yes, you could do a magnet. Yeah, of course you could. Do it any which way you want, but basically it's got to be able to hold that panel in place. That's the only stipulation really. So I just like the idea of that having a bit more detail than just being a plain leaf. So we're going to use that, and I might just delve into some of my retired embellishments. Oh. Right, so let's get this stuck down. So I'm just trying to figure out where to put the glue. So it's up to that point on my finger there. So I'm just gonna do that. Okay, so that has got to attach up there so that you can open it up to write your sentiments and things inside, but then it will just clip on there when you want to actually stand it up. Okay, because it has to stand there. You don't want it flat. You want it just to sort of stand there. Hold on, let me just crease this a little bit more because it's slipped out a bit. Let's get that really well creased there, and well creased along there. Right, let's have a look. I just found those bumblebee trinkets and thought they might be quite cute. Now these go back probably till up from last year, those ones. But, just going to pop a tiny amount of glue. Yeah, tiny amount. There we go. Stick that on top of there. Got a little bit of glue coming through. Yeah, we call them brads. What do you call these? Yeah, brads. Yeah. And not Brad Pitts though, just brads. Okay, so to make my life easier, I'm going to just cut a little slit in my leaf there to be able to push my brad through. There we go. And then I want to, let's get my ruler and just get it. Oh no, do I want it in the middle? As long as the leaf is in the middle somewhere, that's all that matters, doesn't it? So about there. Just need to cut a little slit there. Pop that through there. And open that up. Oh no, hold on. I've got to make sure it's in a position that it opens up sideways. Yeah, that's fine. Like so. And then you just slip that under there and that will hold into place. Okay, so that's called the reverse Z fold for some reason. Yes, it works. So it's nice because you kind of end up with this really lovely framing of your stamping, which works. And this texture on the top is really nice. It doesn't kind of take away too much from it. If anything, it enhances it. I think it looks really nice in the centres of those sunflowers. Okay, let's move on. We've got quite a bit left. I did want to use these dies because the offer that's coming next month is actually going to apply to this stamp set, the stamp set that goes with this, and the dies. So when they first came out, they were a bundle and you got 10% off, and in the current catalogue, you don't get any reduction for buying the two together, but in March there is going to be a reduction. So I thought it would be nice just to remind you of what these look like. Right, so I want to cut out some flowers. I might, just trying to think what I've got left, what scraps I've got here on my desk. I'm happy to get out other sheets of cardstock, but let's just see what's on here. And I thought it would be fun to cut out some sunflowers with this. And because we've got that beautiful leaf die, cut out one of those. And then the other thing that's really nice about this set is these sort of corn-like elements. And then there is a centerpiece for the sunflower. And there's these leaves as well. So the only thing I'm not going to use are the outline dies for the match the stamps. Right, and is it worth me just seeing what else I could cut out? I'm wondering whether I should just cut out a little frame for a sentiment. Okay. I'm going to get these all ready to go through my machine. Where am I? Oh, there they are. So slip that under there, pop that onto there. Now always make sure that your dies are not overlapping each other, because they will damage each other if you run them through overlapped. And so, yeah, just always double check before you put them through your machine. Ask me how I know. Oh dear. Oh yeah, see, I'm checking it and it's already shifted, so I'm just going to move them into a safer location. There we go, that's better. When you start to run it through the machine, it does get a bit easier because the plates are clamped down. But what can sometimes happen when you're running it through, they can jump. So I like to put my hand on top of the plates as they go through. So if they do kind of jump like they do then, they don't go out of place. So if I want to do a second run through, they should not have moved. Because it's a little bit annoying when you do a second run through and then you don't realise that they've jumped, and then they shift very slightly, and then it makes them unusable. Okay. Oh, now that one I didn't cut through properly. Okay, I'll come back to that one. So I've got pretty leaf. Let's get rid of that. Pop that there. Take these leaves. Oh, that's the centre of the sunflower. That bit there. And that's the textured centre. Pop you out. And for some reason I didn't cut through properly on there, but rather than trying to line it up and cut it through, what I'm going to do is just snip it. And just use my snips. Because it's semi-cut out, for some reason that section just didn't want to do, which sometimes happens. Sometimes I have got on one of these plates, I have got a little bit of a crack, so the pressure may not have been the same going through. So let's get rid of all these little waifs and strays. Oh, you've got heavy rain, Vicky. Ah. Oh, Glenn has just sent me a message. Yes, Glenn, I think you're right. I think she's guessed where my rogue die has come from. Oh, there we go. Right, so these are always really tricky to get out. So you just have to, when I say tricky, you just have to take your time and pull them very gently so that you don't rip the stalk. Okay, so you just pokey poke like that, get hold of it, and then gently. I just need to do an extra little poke there. Hi Lisa McCusker, welcome. Are you new to the channel? Oh, come on. There we go, lovely. Actually, I'm going to get my magnetic plate and just stick these on here so that I don't lose them. Because it's easy to do. Oh, now this is out on my desk. I'm wondering if I could use that for something. Just might. Right, let's get a bit of Misty Moonlight. Oh, have I got? Oh no, I haven't got one cut. What else did I use? A mango. Just going to measure this. So this measures 3 and kind of like 3 1/4 by 5. Okay, so if I cut this, I want it to go from there to there. So what does that measure? Oh, about 2 inches. Well, that's not too much. So if I go from there to there, that's about 4 1/4. Right, so I'm going to cut a section here that's 2 inches by 4 1/4. Oh no, that was way too big. Oh, I need it back there. Okay, what's that? 3 1/2. Ooh, okay, fine. 3 1/2 it is. And I'm going to get. I just think it needs a bit of a border. So I'm going to cut this at 3 3/4 and 2 1/4. Not sure about the orange. I'm going to bring some cinnamon cider in. Right, we'll just have to play. We'll play and play and see what looks right, because I want to add some of these elements, these cut elements under here as well. We're going for lots of texture on this one. So I'm going to pop these out. Ah, fair enough, Heidi. I do have, I've only got one person booked onto that wreath class on Wednesday. Oh no, hold on, Tuesday. My 7 o'clock one. So if I don't get any more people booked on, I'm afraid I'm going to have to postpone that one. But I have got a few people booked onto the Wednesday one at 10 AM my time. But again, I would like a few more, so please let me know if anyone wants to do the wreath class. Right, now this is looking a little bit insipid, this pale papaya. So I think what I'm going to do is get out the Mango Melody ink pad, which had some good use today. And I'm going to add some orange to my sunflower. I'm just going to pop that out. Being a little bit of a pain there. Right. Just going to brush some of that on. So I'm just adding a little bit of orange onto these leaves. Like I said, it just looks a little bit insipid compared to the vibrancy and of that colour scheme. It was looking a bit bleh. I don't even know why I'm colouring this in because I don't even know I'm going to use it, but anyway. Right, let's do someone here. That's better. Let's shape this leaf a little bit, make it look a bit more interesting. Oh, I just dropped a die. Right, I'm going to have to find that later. Okay, let's glue this together. Hi, Heidi. This is the older magnetic plate, Annie, that got discontinued. Martina's talking about, not the solid one that we currently have. It was a magnetic thin one that we used to do. Sorry, I'm concentrating. I've gone very quiet before you all start going, Ruth, I can't hear anything. Just having a little think. Okay. I think I like that. I think there's enough contrast between the pale papaya and the Mango Melody with the dark of the background. Now, I can see that I've obviously coloured on top of this, and I'm not sure if I like it. I think, oh, I'll just turn it over. Yes. Fantastic. Okay, I like that. Let's get this stuck down. So, because I'm going to stick that there now. I've changed my mind about the layout. I'm going to put the tiniest amount of glue on these little dots on the back here. And then on here, I think I'm just going to put some glue quite liberally there. And then just lay that down. Just put a little bit of pressure on there and there. See what that was? No matter how little amount of glue you think you've put on, it's always too much with this glue, because it's good stuff. Just going to put a couple of extra dots there and there, like so. And stick that there. So I'm making sure that the gap at the top and the bottom is the same. I'm going to hold that down. Maybe a more blue circle for the flower centre so it shows up more. Okay, I'll have a look at that in a second. Heidi, what did I say about her? Oh, your hand's painful. Oh no. Yeah, that definitely needs more colour on it. So what I'm going to do is actually put more orange on it to start off with and see if I prefer it just with a darker bit of orange. Because I don't actually want to draw your attention too much to the sunflower, would you believe? After that, all that lovely fancy cutting out. I think what I'm trying to do is draw your attention to the sentiment that's going to go on here, which I haven't stamped yet. So let me find a nice sentiment first. Oh, now I did get out, those of you who haven't put your celebration orders in yet, this is a stamp set that you can get from Celebration, and it's got some really, really lovely sentiments. So what about just a card to say that you are amazing? How cool would that be? So look, I've not even opened these yet. Oh, I've got to do the new stamp set sniff. New stamp set sniff. Oh, yes. It's all good. All is right with the world when you sniff a new stamp set. No, I'm being quite silly saying that, really, because not all is right with the world at the moment. So just for my own personal record, today Russia invaded the Ukraine. And to be quite honest with you, I am at a loss for words to know what to say about it. It's just incredibly tragic. And you know, when you hear people say, all we can do is pray, I really do believe that. All we can do is pray, but not all we can do is pray as in it's hopeless. All we can do is pray. Does that make sense? Yeah. So if you are somebody who does pray, please do. I can't imagine what it must be like for people living there right now. Okay, so let's pop that there. I think that will go there. Still got my little, no, I actually might stick my leaf on now. Well, not stick it on, stick it together rather. Have you got a date for your surgery, Heidi? Okay, I think I'm going to use some dimensionals for this. So I'm going to stick these little elements. Oops. Ooh, no, come on. I want it to fall apart. Stick that down in that corner because I know I want you to go there. Pop that. That's going to go there. I want this to come a bit closer in. Where are my dimensionals? Oh, there we are. Pop these leaves on. Put the tiniest amount of glue because they are so delicate, these, that they very easily can get broken, you know, when people take the card out of the envelope. So it's worth just spending a few extra moments to pop some glue on there to hold those into place. Okay, then I've got these leaves. Now I think what I might do is do the dimensionals first, then I'll pop those little leaves underneath in a second. Okay, so that's going to go on there. Yeah, Brigitte, it's weird. It's like Russia seems so much more closer. That's what it feels like. You know, when they're starting to come through Ukraine. I'm just going to pop this couple of these under here. And I don't think I can resist, but I think I want to put some little embellishments in there because I know we have some that would match. Ooh, excuse to get the blue ones out. I don't think I want to do much more than that. I think I'm going to leave that. I like it just as it is. Yes, I'm going to leave that there. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3 cards done so far. Now, I'm wondering whether we can do something crazy bright. And I've got these lovely little scraps left over. I have got this big panel here, which I might use in a second. But I'm looking at my table thinking, I've got all these tiny little wee pieces. What could we use that for? So let's pull back all these tiny pieces. And almost do a bit of a junky card. And anything I'm thinking of maybe doing is cutting out a fabulous butterfly or something on here. So, I want to just frame some of these a little bit with the blue. So this bit's got a bit creased, so I don't want to waste it. So I'm just going to use that then. I'm going to hide the crease. I'm going to stick that on there. Just so happens to be pretty much the right size. So I'm just going to pop that there. Like so. Give that a bit of a frame. I've got this tiny piece here. And that could be stuck on there. Yes, Melissa, I agree. Yeah, I read that this evening, that there are people, yeah, protesting. That's good. It's good to hear, actually, that they're not all buying what Mr. P is saying or thinking. Okay, I'm just going to snip that little bit off that bit. That wee section there. Still haven't decided quite what I'm doing. Got a bit there. I could do a butterfly. Maybe I could do a butterfly there with some ribbon behind it or something. Now I want to make this a bit thicker, so I'm going to cut. I've got another base here, but I'm going to cut it a bit smaller, and I think it would be nice. That would be nice embossed. So I'm just going to cut a bit off both sides. Like so. Make sure this is going to fit. Right, I'm going to emboss this because I think that would be nice with, let's see what I've got in my little embossing box, my emboss folder box. Oh, that's some brick. Oh, the timeless, time-worn type, this one's called. I might put some ink on it as well, since I've got it out here, just to help it to show up a little bit better. Just applying ink to that there. So with these 3D embossing folders, you need the grey mat that comes with the machine. Okay, that's building up nicely. So now I want to use, I don't know if I've got my butterflies out, but I'm wondering whether to cut a little frame. No, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut a big butterfly and a little one, not a little one, a frame for it. I think I should keep the butterflies permanently on my desk, really, because they come out so often. They must be on my desk somewhere, because I've just looked in my pile and I can't find them. Oh, where have they gone? Sorry, bear with. I'm just trying to find the butterflies. Oh, no, don't do this to me. Don't hide. Oh, for goodness sake. No. Oh, no. Oh, found them. Right, so what I'm thinking is I'm actually going to cut a butterfly out that will, let's have a look, which size one do I want? Do I go for a medium size one? Do I go for a nice big one? Actually, I think it all depends what I can cut. So my idea is that I cut two. Now, do I cut one that's got an orange background, or do pink on pink? What do you think? I think I'll cut that out to start off with. Without what, Sue Wilson? What are you saying? Wash your mouth out. Are you not a fan of butterflies, Sue? Sorry. If anyone thought that was rude, it's okay. I know Sue. I can say that to Sue. So funny. I always get a little bit panicky when I think people might think I'm being really rude just to my followers, but it's because I know them. Hi, Miss Nina. Right, so that's done. Now, let's see if I can get a butterfly out of that. Ooh, there's more space on this one. Do that. Hi, Claire. Hello, Miss Nene. Welcome. Nice to see you. Let's do that one as well. May as well, while we're going through the machine. Actually, let's see if that one will fit in there. You know what I say? If you're going to cut one, you may as well cut 2 or 3 or 4. You've just been with my mum making cards. I hope you behaved yourself around my mum, Claire. Oh, you're not a big butterfly fan, Sue. That's all right. You can still be my friend. Oh, dear. Does she enjoy herself when, Claire? Oh, I should have put this through. Oh, no, I was just thinking I should have put this through a couple of times, but no, it's all right. Just takes a moment to get all the little bits out. We'll get there. We'll get there. How long have we got? Oh, just over an hour. Right, okay. Well, we have made 4 cards. Some a bit more complicated than others. You know, so I think we're doing all right. You were in the naughty corner, Claire. Oh no, what had you done? Right, move that over. Now this is crazy bright, this card, but sometimes it's fun to do things a little bit crazy and bright, isn't it? I'm wondering whether to go around the edges of the orange with blue. What do you think? A bit of misty moonlight. Make it stand out even more. Let's do that. Oh, I had misty moonlight out earlier, didn't I? Oh, I don't know, Lisa. No, these aren't being made with anybody in mind. Oh, no. That's from a different... Oh, I know who you mean. Do you mean Susan? No. I was going to film that and put it on and release that when she got the rest of the paper. I was just about to say, shall I put blue on the edge of this butterfly? But I've managed to get blue on it by accident. So yes, it is going to have blue on it now. Just a wee bit. Yes, indeed. Sue, very true. Oh, so just a little reminder, if anyone's interested in doing a wreath class with me next Tuesday, please, please, please email me ASAP. Right. Just having a little think whether I want to put some ribbon on this or a little bit of zhuzh. I have... Oh, do I have Magenta? Oh, yes, I do. Is that Magenta Madness? No, it's not. Oh, I do have some Magenta Madness ribbon, but it's what's the word? It's like a woven one. Let's try a bit of that. I'm just going to cut this in half. I just feel like I want to put a bit of edginess to this. Throw that up a bit. So this is ribbon that's available in all the in colours. They're actually going to be leaving us. So this is the Magenta Madness one. Oh, it frays quite nicely actually. Look at that. Does that? I often like doing black see-through butterflies. Oh, so you emboss black onto... vellum. Is that what you're saying, Lisa? I'm going to start sticking stuff down because it's bugging me now. Dottage on the solid butterfly. You're not going to see it really, in my opinion. Oops. Glenna. Oh, I'll see it, Ruth. You're funny. Glenna will know it's there. What do you think, guys? Does that butterfly need dottage underneath it? I haven't got a stamp set out that's got dottage, to be honest, Glenna. And I think I just want to get this done now, so I'm sorry. Right, I'm going to put that underneath there. Now, I wouldn't normally use glue on ribbon, but because it's being hidden, I'm just going to... going to do it because I'm then going to get my dimensionals, which were here a second ago. Sure, dimensionals over here. No, they're gone. Okay, fine. I'm going to pop loads on the back of here. Oh, I say loads, I mean like 3, as opposed to just 1. So make sure it stays put, and also it helps to keep the ribbon in place. I know what, Glenna, I'll do that. Is that better? Now, I've got a very grungy butterfly, and I'm wondering now, just to grungy up a little bit the edges of my card, because I've got this kind of like blue haze going on. So, the yellow. What yellow? Do you mean orange? Oh, I know what I could do. I know what I'll do, Miss Glenna. Bear with. I'll get some Misty Moonlight. Not Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy. What about some Night of Navy dottage? There we go. I would never have shredded that pink ribbon, but it's a wow factor, Ruth. Oh, thank you. Oh, look at that. Oh, yes, there we go. Happy now. All the grungy folks are going, yay! And all the people who are clean and simple, no, you've just ruined the card. There we go. That better? Got a bit of grunge on there now. It's a tad bland, says Miss Heidi. I mean, it just needs a little bit of extra flavour, you know, on the card. No, it hasn't got the wow factor yet. That's my pretend Heidi voice. Her voice really isn't like that at all. Just saying. Just making up a voice for Heidi. That's Heidi the food critic, by the way. Okay. Now we're going to bling it up a bit. With a nice big bling-a-ding. And then some smaller bling-a-ding on the way down the body. And another one. There we go. Absolutely. See, a bit of splatter is like a card. It's like adding salt to a card, isn't it? Or a bit of Winker Stella. There we go. Right, my lovelies. I've just stolen Wendy's words. Wendy uses that phrase, doesn't she? My lovelies. I've got a spare little butterfly here. I'm wondering whether we need... Because it's a bit bland up there, actually, I have to say. Truth be told. Right, I think this needs one more butterfly, and then that'll be it for tonight. My little chickadees. That's what my father-in-law says. That's his little phrase. Right on, my little chickadees. Oh, just to let you know, you're in for a bit of a treat tomorrow night, guys. So actually, I need your help. Tom is going to be making a card for his father tomorrow night, live. So this evening he said, you know when you do a video for like like beginners, what night do you do that? And I went, oh, Fridays. And he went, oh, right, because I thought I could do a card for my dad. I was like, yeah, okay. He said, so could you like help me do something that I've never done before? I was like, yeah, okay. But I'm a bit lost to know, what has he not done before? So if you guys have got ideas, please type in the comment section. You know, you've got less than 24 hours to let me know. What technique have you not seen Tom do? I mean, he's such a pro stamper now. He's tried it all. Don't you think? I don't know. So, yeah. Please let me know, or put in the chat now. You've got a few more minutes. What technique would you like to see Tom do as a beginner stamper? Or beginner crafter? There we go. He's never done a fancy fold. So I don't know. Fancy fold? Has he done heat embossing? No, I don't think he has. Is there any particular technique with heat embossing you'd like to see him do? Where's Janine? Janine would love this. It's orange and got butterflies. Have I only done 3 cards? Oh, no, 4. There we go. I was like, where's the 4th one gone? Right. Let's do a little wee recap. Oh, no, that one there. So, I used my stamped sheet that I did last night. So I will put the link to how I stamped this in the description of this video. So that'll be in the description box below. So if you want to see how I made this, that'll be there. So for this first card, what I did was I cut a panel of my pretty paper, 2 centimeters smaller on both sides than my card base. So if you're doing this in Imperial, I would suggest you do about 1 inch smaller, or maybe less, depending how much of a gap you want between all your pieces. And then I cut a piece of Misty Moonlight cardstock, which was 1 centimeter smaller, and then cut my sections, and then made sure that I cut the Misty Moonlight so that they all were framed. It would be great to see Tom make a fun fold card with embossing on it. Heat embossing as a resist for blending brush colouring. Ooh. Okay, I will. How to use an embossing folder? No. So we could do all things embossing, couldn't we? We could emboss the card with a tool so that he could do a fancy fold. Then he could emboss with the machine to do, embossing something. And then he could heat emboss. Goodness me, he's going to be all embossed out, guys. Okay, so this was my reverse Z fold. So the reason this is called a Z fold is because it sort of looks like a Z. Okay, you see that? And so basically you cut your card base long ways, score through the middle, score at 1/4, and then stick a panel over the top, and basically just do some sort of mechanism so that that will slip there, so that when it stands, that's how it stands. So that's that. My hand is the ground or the table, and that's how it stands. So it kind of just has a really nice kind of framing quality to it. Of course, I haven't put a sentiment, but if you wanted to add a sentiment, of course you could. That might look nice in Misty Moonlight, maybe stamped in white ink or something. And this one, I just used quite a small panel actually. I didn't use that much of a panel there, but really went to town using the dies from the Celebrate Sunflowers, the ones that match that set, which are called... Oh, must be a bit of paper. Oh, I think they're called sunflower. Are they called sunflower dies? I think that's what they're called actually. And so use that, cut that in pale papaya, and then use the Mango Melody ink with a brush just to add some extra, because I felt it looked kind of quite insipid, and actually it's worked out quite nicely. The orange there contrasted against the paleness of the pale papaya is really quite nice. You see that contrast? So just goes to show that you can have a kind of quite pale card, but by adding a bit of ink using the blending brushes, it works really well. So there's that one. And this one had a bit more work done to it. I used that piece. I can't remember what those are called now. You buy a pack of them. They're embellishment-y type things. You can use them as stencils, which is what I did. Funny enough, this is what I did use for the background. So you've got that mirroring there. You've got a bit of the stenciling there using this, and then used it again. Yeah, so this one's a bit more work. We embossed Mango Melody cardstock for that background bit, and then did some layering using up scraps basically, and then cut out some butterflies and added some pretty ribbon. So there we go. So let me know which one is your favourite. And I mean, I get that, you know, some of these two are a little bit more simple, but I hope you can see where you could apply that to your own card making. So thank you everybody for joining me today. What was that? Anne's asking. Date scones out of the oven. Oh, yummy, yummy. Oh, I love dates and I love scones. So that's fabulous. Lean forward. Oh, why have I got to lean forward? Vicky's just pulled a muscle leaning forward. Oh no. Heat embossing. Oh, right. Okay. So embossing. I'll tell Tom embossing for tomorrow. So. Thank you, Miss Gina. You're awesome. Yes, please do pin this to Pinterest if you'd like to. Thank you, Wanda Manaseri. You like the butterfly card and the sunflower card. Yeah, I'm for those of you who don't know, I'm a bit of a more is more person. So I love putting loads and loads of textures. But there is a trick to making sure that your layering works. So I will just briefly go over what my tips are for that. If you're putting texture upon texture, try and create a bit of a barrier between your two very textured pieces by putting a border. So this plain blue border going around this texture and this texture, separating this patterned paper from this just helps it to show up. If I just stuck that straight onto the orange, it would have just gone bleh. You would have not have noticed it at all. So just remember that it's okay to use pattern on pattern and pattern and pattern, but you do need to separate them. So like this butterfly, yes, I could have just done the pink on the orange, but actually it's really helped by putting the blue along the edges there to help separate and define it a bit more. So with this one, again, you've got that little bit of bordering going on with the blue there. And then, as I said earlier, the focal point really is the words. So that's why I try to keep all this very kind of clean in colour. So it's just pale papaya and the mango. Okay, any other questions? You've been die cutting, Darlene. Ah, lovely. Thank you, Diane. Oh, you've got peaches to bottom. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm yawning. Excuse me. Right, I'm ready to go. Lovely to catch you all. I've got now tomorrow morning. I've got to get on and film my Christmas stampathon. which I haven't done yet, but Ellen has already released because she's obviously a few hours ahead. So if you want to check out the Christmas Stampathon already, what the theme is, you can go and do that. And I'll be back tomorrow at some point with my Christmas Stampathon video. So you might get 2 videos from me tomorrow. Someone asked about the rhinestones. The rhinestones are in the annual catalogue. I just used 1 lot of rhinestones today. That was very restricting of me. They are these gorgeous blue ones here on page 142, and they're called the Blue Adhesive Bagged Gems. So they are sort of, there's 2 lots of the blues really. There's a paler blue and a darker blue. I'm not sure if that's picking up, but this blue is more of a kind of what I would call a frozen blue, you know the film Frozen, and these are slightly darker. So I actually use the darker ones today because they're more of a night of navy towards those kind of colours, whereas this blue is a bit paler. Okay. You're welcome, Glenna. Thank you for joining me. How about die cutting for Tom? Oh, I don't think we could do die cutting and embossing in the same night. I think he'd have a heart attack. So good idea though, Christine. Maybe for the next one. Yeah, we'll get Tom doing some die cutting. Yeah. You're hoarding them. Oh no, use them up, Miss Glenna. Use them up. Right, and so Miss Linda, if you're watching this later on, she's probably hanging out with her family. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Linda. And I'm afraid I have not got anything in the post to her just yet. But I am wondering, do you know if Linda's tried Marmite yet? Because I think I should send her some Marmite after all these discussions about Marmite and things like that. So there we go. That's my idea. What do you think, Glenna? Do you think she'd like Marmite? Right. Take care, everybody. God bless. Good night.